Hello and good morning. It is the 10th of December 2022. Starlog, no, I'm joking. It's Orson here once again, ringmaster of Circo Pequeno. There is no time like the present, which is what I just told myself after a prayer of clarity. Let me come from my heart to you again today. Good morning, lights. I say this in very specific reference to a certain someone who I am convinced I will meet and may already have just a couple of nights ago. I'm yet to know. But a big reach out to her and to all light workers. I reference this as someone showing that light of a human unfolding a lotus on this worldly ocean. So a very big shout out to her. I think she's called Laura, but yet to know. Anyway, good morning, starseeds. I say this in reference to, oh goodness, we'll get into that later, huh? Good morning, invisible people. I say this in reference to all you invisible people who I feel I am still to meet, even though I can see you. And good morning, everyone, basically. Again, I will say, anyone watching this for the first time, please go back if you want to benefit from, well, if you're interested, please go back, catch up with the circus, and then reach this point. And I then, from this point, assume everyone now watching is up to date with the circus. And Orson, Tim, and number one. And the continuing saga of either Tim's character, mind, or heart. I pray it is my heart, my imagination. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Today's title is Celebrating in the In-Between. This will be understood if you're up to date with this particular week of what I intended to do and what I'm doing. So celebrating in the in-between. As I said in the video yesterday, there is a particular reason to celebrate today, as it is someone's birthday. It's a secret birthday, but sod it. I'm going to sing you happy birthday. I've never done this before. So here's a new one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. I chose a short song for my launching my singing career. I wish you an absolutely fantastic birthday, and this coincides with this celebration. This person is all about celebrating life, and for me has helped me more than anyone could ever to do just that, to celebrate my life. This date has always been important throughout my life, to be honest. My mum, all her friends, this was always a special day. And today, I feel it's more special than ever, because I am finally reaching directly to you. And bridging this gap, cutting through this veil, jumping through this screen, jumping through this mirror, right to you. To be honest, right to your feet. My love of you. I am not getting tearful. Goodness me. Can't do that. Not right now. But I want to reach out, and I look forward to listening to you later today. Anyway, secret birthday over? Not over, because it's not clearly, but anyway. Celebrating in the in-between. Celebration of this man's birthday. But celebration of this present moment. This is where we must meet. This is where we will meet. For me, this present moment is surrounded by utter glory. I am in a beautiful place. Just 100 meters down there is this view of the ocean, and the waves are crashing in. And this woodland. Oh, maybe I won't tell you where it is. I don't want it spoiled. There are not many woodlands on the Algarve, and this one for me is one of the closest that I can go to, and it's not big. And yet you feel that woodland feel. I mean, you hear the birds, listen to that. And what with the ocean, it's a very unusual contrast. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's where I am in this present moment. I love coming here. I wanted to do today's one somewhere different. I kind of this morning just felt a kind of, let's push it up a notch. Listen to Infinity was winding me up. This week I'm having trouble keeping up with you, Infinity. I plan today to try and get back up to date. But I just earlier listened to the timeline shift, which I will come to today, because it hit the mark. I think you're a wonderful person. And I'm completely certain I will meet you, because I know your voice so well. I have connected with you, and you have helped me so much. Anyway, again, reaching through this mirror. I'm not stopping. Little story at the beginning here, just to kind of, whatever. Stories are beautiful. Whose birthday it is a great storyteller. And they always hold so much meaning. It's a bit of a double story. Some weeks ago, I was at a cafe, and I was sitting having a coffee, and I noticed there was someone that I knew there. And he was reading a newspaper, and I left him to it. I thought, I'll wait and see. It's someone I've known for quite a long time, and he knows exactly whose birthday it is. And it was so wonderful because I just sort of sat there and I thought, yeah, we'll talk. And sure enough, at one point, without me noticing, he put down his newspaper and suddenly he was like, "Hey, Tim." And so I went and joined him at his table. And it was such a wonderful connection. Because I know he knows something. We chatted, caught up with what was going on. You know, I've known him, crikey, 15 years, easily, him and his lady. Through our conversation, and here's the second part of the story, towards the end, as he could tell, I was I've got to go, I had to go and do something, I don't remember. He chose to tell me a story. And I appreciated the story, and every moment I was listening to it, there was this other level connection. And he chose to tell me a story which I had heard before, but he imprinted it. And it's from the Ramayana, the great epic. And it is the story of how, in the adventures of Ram and Hanuman, there comes a point where Hanuman, the greatest, the strongest of them all, is met by his mother. His mother comes to him and says, "Hanuman, you know, what are you doing? Ram is in trouble. Ram needs your help. You have always helped him. Why are you not helping? You have everything to help Ram." The conversation goes on. She presses him. And in the end, he points out very simply that the reason he is not helping Ram is that this must be Ram's story. This, I feel Ram was probably sitting out there going, seriously? Seriously? After all the help to be left? This story really touched a part of me. It's how it is. Now, celebrating in the in-between. My phone keeps slipping. Celebrating in the in-between is about, I personally think, and as a collective dream that I am certain of, it's of the utmost importance now, because to raise our vibration in this in-between and in our lives in general is an actual, it takes an effort. It takes raising this inner narrative that we all have, raising it and trusting in it, I believe is a certain part of the steps we're on towards joining, connecting, coming together in this dream. Individually, I believe that is the work we must do. And I know for sure there are more than enough people doing it, which is why I feel so much connection to myself and to this invisible dream. It wouldn't be possible without this collective energy, this wonderful coming together. And it's so odd because I feel, as much as I am talking to invisible people, I know I am seen on this level through choosing to do these messages and videos, which I think are an essential part for myself, and a certain a way to connect for us to get to know each other, even though you don't say a lot. Still think you're fantastic. But I know I am really seen, and I have been honest. And on other levels that I am beginning to understand, I am more than seen. And this leads me to the understanding of how the wild bird can see me so clearly because of her incredible insight. And to be honest, it's in the end, I've only got myself to blame, especially with these videos and on other levels. Everything. It, like I said, I think some time ago, it gives me a renewed sense of responsibility to realize how seen I am. And yet I am myself, and I am being completely honest. I think that's an absolute essential aspect of me being utterly authentic with you. There's no way this dream could unfold in any other way. And so I always pray this authenticity is leading towards a door opening, if you like, a kind of coming together. And I know I have that interface. And this is what's happening. Now I want to kind of jump back a bit to 2013. Back in 2013, I did a very particular exercise, if you like. And it was the first time I know about expressing gratitude and writing gratitude down and making a practice of it, if you like. But in the early part of 2013, I did a very particular one. And here's a shout out to Aussie Sheila, Rhonda, and who I met on some other level in April, I guess. Must have been April 2020. So, shout out to you. Because in 2013, I did a particular exercise in, well, what I have come to understand certainly as magic. One of those, well, I didn't realize quite how powerful it was until these last years. But it certainly changed my life. And I have books full. I continued the gratitude practice. But in that particular time, in sort of January, February 2013, I continued it as intended, day after day, I stuck at it. I really did do what I was guided to do. And I amazed myself with my continued effort. It reached a point in the practice on halfway through or a bit more, where it really got to the point where decide what your intentions for your life are. As though, and I got this from somewhere else at some point as well, like imagine yourself, you already have all the things you can think of. Car, house, relationship. You've already done it all. You've got the money in the bank. Imagine all those things, they're done. Then, what is your life goal? Combined, that understanding combined with the particular day of the exercise made me take a real step back for a few days, where I had to really get clear of what it was that I truly, truly wanted. What is my true life goal? It blew me away because it really helped me to get very clear on that. And it was what my kind of life goal has been all along. This kind of to help. I want to serve. I know, and so many know, of the potential of a human being. I have learnt it with myself more and more, and it is a natural result to then want to aid any others. Not be zealous, not be, I know something you don't. Just in very simple ways to bring ourselves back. And that this, without a doubt, is my life mission. So that was back in 2013, and it really took root. And over the years, it truly came true. And I feel completely on that path somehow. And so I want to, in a sense today, I want us to join, connect, celebrate, and actually join on a higher timeline. I want to shift into another gear. I want to shift up a notch, to level up. I know that holds power for me. So just imagine what we can do if we join that particular heartfelt desire for a raising of consciousness on this planet. Because I believe that is the greatest purpose any of us can ever desire, in a sense. That effect will flood, just like it floods within us, that understanding. That effect collectively will flood very really in this world and bring a semblance or a mirror or a quality of truth here that I recognize every time I come near it. In others, in messages, in my teacher, in so many ways that truth can express itself. Is there truth in this illusion? there's a quality of it. And that's the quality I want to pursue through my life. So I truly believe that joining in our efforts, if you like, is of the utmost importance. To actually join that imagination, if you like, that heartfelt imagination, join this dream, will have an effect that is quite literally a quantum effect. It's invisible. It is the unmanifest. But for us to do it together would be a great form of manifestation, I believe. So, it's about having that dream, getting clear about that dream, our shared goals, focusing on that, using our inner compass in line with that. Truly letting that imagination, getting free in that imagination, knowing it is possible, and protecting yourself. This is, like I said at the beginning, I can't afford doubt this week, and I've done well. I've done really well. And it's a very important thing to shield yourself, to protect yourself in this, in your dream, from doubts and fears of others. It's so simple to take them on, and we are stepping beyond that. We must. And I believe sharing in this work, in this prayer, will be one of the most powerful things we could ever do. And to be honest, it's the very power that the matrix, the power players, the manipulators throughout history always have attempted to lower this potential of every single one of us. But we can do it. We have this potential. And now I think we've gone so far beyond the point where we truly have got this. So to celebrate now, as though we've got it. What was it? Neville Goddard, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, I'm getting off onto things because I'm very much this inner experience. I'm not... Sports people use this. They use visualization, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I believe that's a great use of exactly what I'm talking about. If you use it exclusively for your personal betterment, and someone else has to lose, then there's a little danger here. For example, Mr. Trump is like the example of the secret in the wrong hands, because this power can be used purely for your personal gain. But it will not run the test of time. That's why I said the safeguard of this truest power of manifestation, the true safeguard, is you must be in touch with that true unconditional love. It's like this mind can use a proxy love and go, yeah, I just want that Lamborghini and I will tread on people to get it. And you'll get it. Look at the world. Of course you can do that. But that's a win-lose. scenario. I believe we have to be very conscious of it must be win-win here. The greatest things are win-win. I always loved my work doing the juggling and bouncy castles and everything, because it was always win-win. I never had an interaction. People were so happy. I never had an interaction that was like, hey, you ripped me off. It was always, I won, and I did, and I enjoyed that so much, especially the juggling shows, because I gave myself to it so completely. I loved it. I'd be this sweating mess by the end. But I gave my energy, my imagination, and my moments to the job. I loved it. The children, I felt a wonderful reaction from, and then went on to teach them how to juggle. And I now know children here that I've known for 20 years that are taller than me. That's not difficult. But it's wonderful because I still feel it, they're like, I don't even recognize them half the time as some adult. And yet there's features I kind of remember, and I've forgotten their names. I've met so many. My summers were ridiculous. I'd interact with thousands through a week at times. And it was like I'd see the same people the following week at some party. And they'd be like, oh, hi. And I'm like, oh, who are you? And because I'd just seen so many. But it was a win-win. And that's why it worked. And it really did. I thoroughly miss that. There's so many. Another one, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Infinity referenced it this morning. And it's something, again, back around the similar period of kind of 2011. Actually, it was earlier than that. It was literally back in 2007, right through. I'd be driving around. I don't know how many times I've listened to it in my van when I was doing all my work. I'd listen to it 100 times. And it affected me very profoundly. It's an incredible book. The man's life dedicated to this. Carnegie got him onto it as a kind of young man. That understanding of what it was. And it goes through some very particular steps. Many of the more recent self-help and personal development have drawn directly from his material, and some earlier than that. The Secret and everything, she will completely admit it's so related. But that's the beauty of the subject. It kind of just keeps going. Like the Marvel comics. I mean, look at it. You can just, it's infinite. It becomes infinite. You can take any character now and open up that character and their life and this. And that's the true creative thing we seem to have that works. The more synthetic imagination comes up against different limitations. Another character, Tesla. Tesla was a genius so far ahead of his time that we're still not there. I would say he's literally the most incredible genius ever. His discoveries, every city, every house benefits to this day from his discovery, his application of AC as opposed to DC. To this day, his name is still kind of not, people don't know. There was a rivalry, great rivalry that went through. He would have been the richest man ever But right in front of his friend at the time, was it Westinghouse? I think that's it. You know, did a contract with him for delivering power. I think it was to New York at the time. And in that contract, they'd agreed a certain amount per gigawatt, I would assume, that he then produced far in excess of what was expected in the original contract. Westinghouse, is that the right name? Realised as he went through that he'd made a big mistake in that contract, and it would have brought down his entire business. He went to see Tesla. Tesla tore up that contract because he was so set on what he was doing. And he tore up a contract that would have made him back then the richest man. And of course, that would have changed it. His understanding was absolutely beyond our time still. He was so far ahead of his time. Westinghouse paid for his hotel room to the end of his life. And he died in the end heartbroken over the death of his favourite pigeon. I mean, it's such a story of, you know, this guy. And let alone that, the inventions he could have given us that was just misunderstood. So the potential of the imagination, which Tesla used very particularly, apparently he could visualize in his mind, in his mind's eye. He visualized generators and worked them and saw their faults. He created them completely in his mind. At Niagara Falls, I mean, he built generators. I mean, he was just of another level. So big shout out to Tesla. What a character. How can we allow that potential to come through us all in a way? But he was very much win-win. He didn't want to dominate. He didn't want to control. And a big lesson. Big lesson. So anyway, I want to spend a bit more time, because this is celebrating. Celebrating in the in-between with my invisible friends. What do we have to celebrate? We have quite literally everything to celebrate now, I believe. I'm certain, I know. To shift our collective timeline here, I'm 100% certain we can do. And it will take this continued focus that I personally take on again in this moment and this week. I will attempt to continue that. And I want to reach to you guys and say, let us continue in this in-between. If I knew a step to take, you know, I am changing, I'm transforming within. I've absolutely no doubt about that. Through my days, my logical mind perhaps, whatever part of it is in me, is desperate to see result. Is desperate to see the wild bird, is desperate, not desperate, is eager, excited to to simply be with people on the same page. Again, I'm certain it will happen. And I must have the patience, the commitment, and the surrender, the letting go of the how and the when. Guess it's lucky I was never in charge of that. And that is that, well, in the end, the subject, and this is why it touches every culture, every religion, every land, is that it is this potential for a human being to have an awareness of a higher power, a knowledge of it, a trust. And then there seems to be this journey. But I pray it brings us together, because I'm enjoying these, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep doing these silly little messages that no one listens to, because it makes me feel great. It gives me this opportunity to express something so important to me, an energy that must be expressed. I must express this. I really hope I can up my game a bit and come up with more. The storyteller Tim, present Tim, some of these characters, Time Bandit, I mean, come on, it's my favourite. I like the Time Bandit. I think, anyone out there, producers or anything, I think I got a film in the Time Bandit, Who knows? Maybe I could be an actor. Never thought of that before. And maybe that's it, that I see aware people expressing themselves. And there seems to be this magic that comes through, and it is that creative magic of a person's imagination unfolding in their life. And boom, you have something incredible. I mean, just look at Star Wars, guys. Talking about Star Wars, I've had a few worries over the months. I've dismissed them because I'm not going there. But I don't like the bit where Luke returns, knowing that Princess Leia is his sister. This has scared me a bit. But to be honest, Wild Bird, that would be awkward, but I would still have to meet you. But I've had a chat with God, and he said, that's not fair, is it? I said, that's not fair. He kind of agreed. It can't be this story. Anyway, that's a little sideline. I was kind of intended never to bring that up, so I don't know why that came up. I want to go back a bit here to the shows that I mentioned, that I know some of you are aware of, because it was too powerful for you not to be aware of. Those shows back in 2019, 3 shows, were the most I put the people in the shows I put through it. It was tough. It felt like I don't know what, but it was just so powerful for me. And it took a bad timeline shift. It felt like and it was for me, it was an utter life shift. And somehow I've lived it, as I mentioned. I have lived that. And I keep going back to it every day and seeing the steps, what happened in that show. At the end, we all go off, gone. And we meet at the back of the stage, the three of us. And we then return to the stage, the three of us. And receive the applause we so well deserved, I'd say. It was, like I say, it put all three of us through an awful lot, and many other people attached to our lives and beyond. And that's kept me going, is that knowing that we will come up those steps and come home in a way. And I want that in such a way that it is the fulfillment of the cycle of the show. And I want to reach out to everyone necessary in that. And I assume they know who they are, to say that we can do this. We can let go. It's like we're behind that stage doing our personal healing work, preparing ourselves. And I say that's up that preparation. Let us be gentle with each other. Let us be understanding. I won't say too much because of course I can. And I have. And I probably will. But I don't want to mess anything up here for anyone. I want this to be win, win, win. I want us to all move forward. And I pray that is possible. But it will take understanding on all our sides. Acceptance. And all the best to everyone involved. Let us keep going in the in-between. Let us take those steps. Let us trust. Because the story, the truth, it is so big that we cannot afford for our limited minds to stop us now. Any of us, by the way, any of us still with the circus at the moment. I certainly hope someone's there. Anyone there? Anyway, this is 10th of December. Celebrating in the in-between. I will talk to you again tomorrow. And I will continue to open myself to myself and somehow open myself to you. Opening my heart, opening my mind. What exactly am I opening? I know myself, then is the heart. to express that heart, I am in a learning process. And I need help. I receive so much help on so many levels. And I want to say thank you every single day, every single moment. I want that gratitude to express itself. And I think that at least helps me be in that vibration of raising that vibration to jump to a new timeline in my life. Quite like just jump on a plane to just where I'm, whatever. You know, I can't help feeling stuck at times, and that's why I thought today, well, let's go and do today's one somewhere else then. Let's go for a walk, see the sea, hear the birds, be in nature. I figured today was a nature day, because that's one of the greatest celebrations we have on planet Earth is the nature. That we must celebrate that. That's so central to all of Tim's champion this, champion that. Nature is that runs through every championship, because it's important to every championship. So it becomes more and more important to be aware of that nature, to help that nature. You know, trees, everything is the lungs of the planet, and we're cutting them all down. You know, this planet needs trees. And we must become aware of that. And then the animals and the birds, they have habitats. They can rejuvenate. And we must, I feel this is so central to our future, to be honest. That is what it is quite central to. It's very important. So let us celebrate what we have. Ourselves, our lives, our breath. And then look around you, what you have. That nature, that beautiful nature that we have. That's the celebration today. I want to celebrate planet Earth. I want to celebrate the fact we've even got this, because it can be gone in a second. And we need to up our game here and protect it. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. Let's protect each other and protect the planet. Anyway, well, it was just awesome here today in the end. Perhaps that's good, huh? Perhaps that's me coming more into just one, even though I've got a fictitious name. But just being more one. In the end, I want to be like number one. He has all the fun, I reckon. Anyway, let us join. I've really enjoyed this week. I hope you guys have. I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow. And we shall see. Will I ever see any of you? Sure I will. This can't be how it's got to keep going, surely. You'll all get bored of my little worst video call ever. Stop listening. So this needs to up this game. So look, big load of love to everyone, all the invisible people, all the music I continue to listen to, that raft and this worldly ocean that I can see more and more and more of. I want to be on that raft. Let us build that raft together in trust, in knowing that it is there, that it exists. And let us make it so. Happy birthday once more, and lots of love to the wild bird. As ever, I hope you're well, and hope you get the courage to talk to me one day. How about it? It's the chat. Take it from there. And loads of love to absolutely everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.